Here are the top 6 hikes in beautiful Capitol Reef National Park in southern Utah. Number 1, Sheets Gulch, where you'll see slot canyons that few have ever seen because the gulch is so remote. And you'll see some unusual quicksand mud pits and experience some canyoneering along with expert guide Mike Hinkle of Capitol Reef Adventure Company. Number 2, Cassidy Arch, where you will see some amazing landscapes, plus some rappelling and a wacko dangling her feet off the side of the arch. Number 3, the iconic Hickman Bridge. Number 4, Cohab Canyon, with beautiful views of the Fruita campground down below. And you'll see the canyon that some call Paradise, plus check out 4 connecting slot canyons. Number 5, Capitol Gorge, with that amazing drive out to the trailhead, and a hike through high wall canyons out to the Pioneer Register. And number 6, Grand Wash, with a hike through some breathtaking high canyons. So settle back and relax. Here are the top 6 hikes in Capitol Reef National Park. We're in Capitol Reef National Park today, hiking out to Sheets Gulch. We'll be hiking through some remarkable slot canyons that few have ever seen because the gulch is so remote. These are great slot canyons. You've got to see these things. We'll be navigating some quicksand mud pits, like this one that about sucked me in. I have never seen anything like these. And we'll be doing a little canyoneering with the help of expert guide Mike Hinkle of Capitol Reef Adventure Company. Sheets Gulch is truly remote, as it does not even make the U.S. National Park Service list of top 15 recommended hikes here in Capitol Reef National Park. To get to the Sheets Gulch trailhead, head east down Highway 24 to Nottam Bullfrog Road. Once you're on Nottam Bullfrog Road, head south 12.7 miles to a large, well-marked parking lot. On our hike day, a beautiful Saturday, there was no one else in the parking lot. Remote? I definitely think so. I was thrilled that we had Mike Hinkle as our guide today, as the route from the parking lot out to Sheets Gulch is not marked and crosses washes and many hills. There are some real obstacles inside of Sheets Gulch. For example, water ponds blocking our way, quicksand mud pits, stones everywhere blocking the path. We really needed a guide, as you're about to see.
It rained quite a bit yesterday up here.
At about 1.4 miles into the hike, we encountered our first narrows. Our guide Mike thought this might be the lair of a mountain lion, but we decided not to investigate. Rate this hike as strenuous and a bit dangerous, as the route over to the gulch is not marked or maintained. You could easily get lost. And inside Sheets Gulch, there is some canyoneering and scrambling over rocks. You just never know what you're going to find out here. Early on in the hike, we found a major water problem with this pond right here. Our guide Mike found an alternate route up and over these rocks you see here.
My phone camera.
The route up was very easy to navigate, but we had some problems going back down, as you're about to see. Mike helped us navigate downward about 15 to 20 feet from this rock ledge.
There's another one? That's pretty good.
And so I'm going to have you kind of keep your legs straight. And as you just kind of scoot down, I'll just press you in a little. And as you come down to me, you put a hand here. Yep. You can see I don't have to push hard to slow you down. And you can grab my shoulder.
We started our hike at 5,400 feet and hiked up to about 6,200 feet. There are 3 named slot canyons out here: Burrow Wash, Cottonwood Wash, and Sheets Gulch. All are located close to each other, and each one of them is difficult.
You guys big Longhorn fans?
You got that right.
Our hike today was 6.5 miles, 3.25 miles out and 3.25 miles back. Oh, Mike, I am really loving this beautiful hike. As we're walking along, I'll tell you a little bit about Capitol Reef National Park. It was established back in 1971 to preserve 241,000 desert acres. The park is located in south central Utah, far away from any big cities in Utah. Frankly, Capitol Reef is an under-visited Utah park. It's located in the Water Pocket Fold, which is quite literally a wrinkle in the earth, extending about 100 miles.
So for me, this is my job changed from therapeutic guiding to being more administrative role. This is like how I still get outside.
Got it. Yeah, I'm having a ball. Ignored.
Hang out with cool and interesting people from all across the world, learn about them, share a love for the outdoors. Success rates and outcome studies, and just give it this guide in which to hold it.
Did people ever come back without being in the group and said what's going on?
So we have a really robust alumni program. We actually do 2 quarterly alumni events.
Oh.
So there's 25 people this weekend, all doing climbing, camping, hiking trips together. Our winter one, we had, and then you get other people coming in, with addiction stuff, and just have these huge inflated egos.
Right.
Yeah, Australia, Germany. Germany, they used to before.
This is about as narrow as it got in the canyon, about 24 inches from wall to wall.
Well, the way Houston's sprawled out too, and that's pretty long commute around there, huh?
done that.
Yeah.
That was a little, something else happened.
So this is just going all the way
He
up.
couldn't
and
figure
that's
out what
great
this
stuff.
was. Here's a
Sliding
guess,
on.
a petrified tree trunk?
You know, raw leaves and cheese steaks and no one did them, so. But that, then I went in and, took them out, because I wanted to have the rest of
I was really surprised that there were so many rocks in the pathway here at Sheets Gulch.
So like storefront, like in like a strip mall type thing? Whole house.
We couldn't figure out this one either. And just like that, the slot canyon opened up. At this point, we felt it was a good idea to turn around and head back home again. Little did we know there was a hazard waiting on our return. We had a lot of trouble navigating this quicksand mud pit. Take a look at my shoe.
Well, thank you.
I sunk down about 12 inches and had real difficulty pulling back out. This is the same spot that we went down earlier. Now we're going back up again with the expert help of Mike Hickman.
Go to like all fours.
Crawl.
You're good. Like I'm
You're
right.
good. Oh,
What a wonderful day here at Sheets Gulch with our expert guide, Mike Hinkle.
Hey, Mike Hinkle with Capitol Reef Adventure Company, here hiking in Sheets Gulch today with Joe and Allison, exploring slot canyons of southern Utah.
We are here in Capitol Reef National Park, and we're hiking out to Cassidy Arch. The beginning of the hike is straight up with some wonderful views of the canyons like this one. And once we've hiked up, it's flat over slick rock out to my favorite part, the arch, named for outlaw Butch Cassidy, born one Robert Leroy Parker in 1866. There is so much activity out at the arch. There's people rappelling from the top of the arch. We even saw a crazy lady dangling her feet off the side. More about her in a few moments. It's a little chilly this morning and the wind is really blowing. That said, off we go. The Cassidy Arch trailhead is just off Highway 24, about 6 miles down 24 from the visitor center and about a mile out an unpaved Grand Wash trail. Now, we were in a Toyota passenger car and made the unpaved drive with absolutely no difficulty. You park in a large parking lot at Grand Wash, proceed down 1/3 of a mile down the Grand Wash Trail, then look for the sign, Cassidy Arch. There is a 950-foot height gain, and the climb up is about 1 mile, but the hike to the arch is mostly flat. Elevation at the trailhead is 5,400 feet, so we are up above 6,350 feet at the arch. The total hike from the Grand Wash parking lot out to the arch and back is 4 miles. I rate this hike as strenuous and a little bit dangerous as the route over to the arch is not particularly well marked. We followed other hikers, but without them, I'd be a bit concerned. The National Park agrees, a strenuous hike. Today, much of southern Utah is still untouched, and it's easy to imagine what it was like when Utah was the Wild West. Back in the late 1800s, notorious bank robbers like Butch.Cassidy could run from the law and hide out for months in this red rock country. Cassidy Arch Hiking Trail takes you through some of the same spots where Butch.Cassidy, the most prolific bank robber and train robber of his time, once roamed. After a term in prison, Butch.Cassidy organized a group of outlaws, including the famous Sundance Kid, who was actually called Harry Longabout. The gang was known as the Wild Bunch. From 1896 to 1901, the Wild Bunch robbed over a dozen banks and trains throughout the West, relying on secret hideouts, a knowledge of the land, and some very fast horses for escaping. Butch.Cassidy, the eldest of 13 children, was born on April the 13th, 1866 in Beaver, Utah. His parents and grandparents were Mormons who moved from England to America in the 1850s in response to Brigham Young's call for overseas members of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints to help establish communities in Utah. In case you were wondering, in 1908, in a shootout with the law, Butch.Cassidy died along with his good friend, the Sundance Kid. This has become a very strenuous hike. The wind's blowing up, 30 miles an hour, and it shakes you a little bit as you're going up. It is so pretty out here. Around every corner is a breathtaking view. The wind is really blowing out here. Sure looks like we have reached the top of the long hike up. Things are flattening out. We're heading over to the arch. What a terrific hike. We're now heading to the arch. We're going to see if we want to do any rappelling down. I don't think so. I found this part of the trail a bit difficult. As you can see, it's not particularly well marked. Some of the routes up were a little crude, but somehow we managed to make it. And here is the 400-foot tall Cassidy Arch. For those who are not afraid of heights, you can even walk across the arch. If you're really feeling brave, you can rappel down from the arch to the bottom of the canyon. Not sure what to make of this lady dangling her feet off the side of the arch. Maybe the word crazy comes to mind. It doesn't get much better than a hike named for an outlaw, Butch.Cassidy, here in southern Utah. We are in Capitol Reef National Park today, hiking out to Hickman Bridge. The trailhead is just 2 miles east of the visitor center off Highway 24. The trailhead starts next to the Fremont River. The Hickman Bridge hike is 1 mile out, 1 mile back, a total of 2 miles. This hike is one of the national park's most popular hikes as it's close to the visitor center right off of Highway 24 and has some fantastic views as you're about to see. But the first part of the hike is straight up and I think strenuous. Got a little winded up at the top. Here's proof that you need to pay attention while hiking. I thought the trail was straight ahead. Oh, that's not right. Thought the trail was right up here. Yeah, I even walked up. Oop, that's not right. Turns out it was behind me. There's an old Army saying, stay alert, stay alive. And it's highly applicable to hiking. The hike starts at about 5,000 feet, and there's a 417-foot height gain all at the beginning. Just to get the adrenaline flowing, you can see there's some exposure to the left here. I'm really feeling this height gain. I had no idea it was this steep. I rate this hike as moderate with a very steep climb up at the beginning. It's then downhill to the Hickman Bridge. The U.S. National Park Service agrees, a moderate hike. Wow, it looks like we're going down for a change. The Hickman Bridge Trail suddenly drops down to a wash filled with juniper trees. I knew we were getting close at this point.
Yeah, to the bridge. Where are you going?
Balancing boulder. Did you see it? Did you not see it?
This is our first glimpse of the Hickman Bridge. The bridge is 133 feet high and made of sandstone. Wow, we made it, Hickman Bridge, and it's lovely. For you history buffs, the Hickman Bridge is named after Joseph Hickman, a high school principal and local legislator who advocated for the protection of this area back in the early 1900s. This is a very pretty hike. It's lovely out here.
It's just beneath the back. It's hard to get a picture. I guess it would have been better from down there.
We're heading back down from Hickman Bridge. And the views of the valley, as you can see, are absolutely amazing. Now that was an interesting hike. We went straight up and then straight down. then over to Hickman Bridge, and then we repeated coming back on the same trail. We are in Torrey, Utah today. We're hiking up and into Cohab Canyon here at Capitol Reef National Park in southern Utah. The beginning of the hike is straight up with some wonderful views of the old Fruita campground down below.
Gorgeous.
Once inside the upper canyon, paradise, a beautiful valley filled with trees and powerful rock formations. Inside the valley, my favorite part of the hike, several slot canyons that were frankly a real surprise, and they are filled with history. As we are hiking up, I'll give you a little bit of background. The Cohab Canyon trailhead is off Scenic Drive, beginning near Fruita, and it's about 1.7 miles out and 1.7 miles back. The climb up here is approximately a half mile, and the height gain is about 500 feet. The elevation at the trailhead is about 5,480 feet, so at the very top here we'll be about 6,000 feet in the air. My personal rating for this hike is moderate with a little strenuous walk up. You see it right here. The National Park Service feels the same. They call it a moderate hike. So how did Cohab Canyon get its unusual name? Well, Cohab Canyon is named for the cohabitators in southern Utah. These are Mormon polygamists who supposedly took refuge in the canyon when U.S. Marshals came looking for them during the federal campaign against Mormon polygamy back in the 1880s. Literally, the Mormon polygamists hid their multiple wives and children in slot canyons off the main valley. You're going to see those in a moment. Thus, Cohab or Cohabitation Canyon. We are continuing to head up, looking forward to seeing that valley up there somewhere. At last, we made it to the top, and we are entering the beautiful valley right here. Inside the valley, it got a lot cooler and a lot prettier. My wife called this valley paradise, and I completely agree. It is really pretty inside here. This is the first of 4 slot canyons off the valley we're entering right now, and this is the place where the Mormons allegedly hid their multiple wives and children. Yes, that is rain. It's light rain out here today. This first slot canyon dead ends right here, can't go any farther. This is the second slot canyon off the valley. This is an unusual slot canyon as it appears to have a ramp up to the top of the canyon. Here's the third slot canyon off the valley. This one is impossible to navigate. It gets really narrow, about 30 feet in. This is the fourth slot canyon off the valley, and my personal favorite. Just seems to go on forever back in here. This slot canyon opens into a circular chamber, ideal for stashing people. By the way, you can reach Cohab Canyon off of Highway 24 in addition to Scenic Drive. We hiked Cohab Canyon off of both entrances, but I think Scenic Drive is better because it gets you to the beautiful valley quicker.
Gorgeous.
As we hiked on, the valley opened up to beautiful vistas. We thought Cohab Canyon was an absolutely magnificent hike. Paradise? How you decide. We're in Capitol Reef National Park, driving out to Capitol Gorge. On our way down Scenic Drive, we were able to get a close look at two landmarks. This is the Golden Throne, towering 1,400 feet above Capitol Gorge. And this is the powerful Egyptian temple. We'll be hiking in deep canyons today, checking out some pioneer carvings, actually they're pioneer graffiti, and hoping to see some petroglyphs. Maybe the best part of this hike is the beautiful 2.4-mile drive on unpaved Capitol Gorge Road out to the trailhead. We were blown away by the power of these towering rock formations. We are at Capitol Gorge today. This is the trailhead, and we're about to begin the hike. I rate this hike as easy. It's a flat route throughout the entire Capitol Gorge. The U.S. National Park Service agrees, an easy hike. Mother Nature never ceases to amaze with beautiful flowers right in the middle of the desert. About a quarter mile into the hike, we were told there were petroglyphs. No idea if these are petroglyphs, who knows? This rock wall with pioneer signatures is about 3/4 of a mile into the hike. Some call this the Pioneer Register, and it stretches along both sides of the canyon walls. The names etched into the cliffs date back from the late 1800s to early 1900s. This early settler decided to etch his name forever with bullets. Past the Pioneer Register, we hiked down another quarter mile, then decided to turn back around again. Our total hike today, 2 miles, 1 mile out and 1 mile back. We are in Capitol Reef National Park today, and we're hiking the Grand Wash. Capitol Reef National Park was established in 1971 to preserve over 240,000 acres of desert landscape. It's probably Utah's least visited park because it's so remote. Today we hiked through some deep canyons, veered off into a no-name slot canyon, and searched for Anasazi dwellings. Grand Wash is a famous gorge that cuts its way through the upper portion of the Water Pocket Fold. This hike can be done from Highway 24 or from Scenic Drive. Either way, you will see some very deep canyons. Our hike today was 2.5 miles out and 2.5 miles back off the trailhead on Highway 24. We're about halfway down the trail in this very friendly little arch right here. And it's a very pretty hike, high walls all around. As you can see, the hike is flat all the way, and it goes through these fantastic deep canyons. I rate this hike as easy, and the National Park Service agrees, an easy hike. This has got to be a secret slot canyon off the main trail, and that makes it irresistible. These slot canyons are irresistible. I headed in with reckless abandon. Here's hoping they don't call this secret Rattlesnake Gulch. I saw no snakes inside the canyon, thank goodness. Oh, wow, that was great. Looks like it goes in about 1/3 of a mile. Very nice. Mother Nature never ceases to amaze. Flowers growing from the rocks in the middle of the desert. All right, we're going to explore a side canyon right now, see if we can find any pueblitos, and I'll let you know if we do. The Anasazi, or Old Ones, were known to frequent this area. Looks like there's not much up here. Glad we hiked up though. Here is the turnaround point. We are heading back to Highway 24. I hope you enjoyed seeing the top 6 hikes in Capitol Reef National Park as much as we liked hiking them. If you did, hit the like button, comment below this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe.